Liverpool drop points back to back, beating and Virgil van Dijk loses his record. Darwin Nunez doesn't even know when he's going to score, but Champions League run continues. Arsenal stumble but bounce back in fashion so well that Barca come knocking. Spurs stumble in the top 4 with Atletico Madrid style football. And Eric Ten Hag has brought United back, and Rashford has unlocked the heading traits. We are the Benchroomers. We have a lot to go over in a little bit of time. Everything's down below in the description. Socials, follow, like. We greatly appreciate it. Join the bench. Let's get into it, guys. I don't have an opening question for you, so if you guys are cool with it, I'm kind of ready to kind of go into the top 6 past 2 weeks recap because we missed last week, so sorry for that. But you ready to kind of get into it?
Hit the whistle, bro.
Let's do it. All right. So, how do you guys want to start it off with the top 6 teams? We're gonna do Arsenal first, and then we'll alphabetically go.
Yeah, we'll go down the table
Just
order.
go down the table.
Table. I didn't want to say it that way, but you want to bring it up now? I'm good with that. All right. So Arsenal, and I guess Southampton, they drew away, but came back to Forest, won 5-0. Great result. Great bounce back. Marco, how are you feeling about that?
Excited, bro. After the past 2 games before that, where we saw the struggle, but at the same time it was kind of like eye opening and knowing that we're doing well, but we do still have moments of I want to call complacency or like we're just comfortable, quote unquote, that we just sometimes we just fuck up, and we did. But with this Forest game, we just came and we're like, okay, we fucked up twice. We can't continue doing this, and we came in and bro, we had one hell of a performance.
5-0 at home. I mean, I wish Dyer was here because he was talking shit last time, saying every time we play Nottingham, we always fucking lose. But obviously not this time, Dyer. So in your face, can't say the same about your team. But look, it was a rough result against Southampton. I was pretty upset because you saw that game in Europa against PSV and then Southampton. You saw a little bit of burnout, and the questions started coming already. And boom, Jesus can't score. The dialogue changed very, very quick. But look, as a fan, though, it didn't seem like it changed as far as the fan side. So I'm happy that the energy and the positivity is still there because you saw that in the Forest game that they came out guns blazing. They were ready to score, ready to hurt them. Jesus didn't get on the score sheet, but he does just so much off the ball that
Got an assist.
He got 2 assists. He got 2 assists. But but at the end of the day, you want him to score. That's essentially what you want for him. So
and he missed quite a few chances that game.
He missed quite a few that he informed Jesus would have scored.
You could tell that his teammates were trying to put him in, and it just wasn't going for him. But he did get 2 assists. So
yeah, so I'm very, very happy as to how we bounced back. But we have a hard game coming up on the weekend, which we will go over very, very shortly. But as far as the vibes and the feel good factor, it's still there. I'm not saying it's a title run yet, but
when are you gonna say that?
That's the question that everybody says. Like, when are we gonna call it a title race? Right now, I guess you could say it's a title race because we are in first place, but I would say towards the ends of February, early March.
If end of February, early March, you're still in this position, you would comfortably be like, okay, this is it. You can say those words without jinxing yourself.
Yeah, I would say this could be it for us. This could be our season. This is our season. As long as we're still in first place
in that
or
position,
within reaching distance of Man City.
Marco, February, March, you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. I just want to see how the result that we have when we finally have that match against Man City, and then from there it would be like you'll give us like a step closer to be feeling a little more comfortable saying this is a title race.
Yeah,
well, City are dropping points, so you may not even need to beat City if teams are going to be waffling like that.
I think personal. I don't know if Eric agrees with me, but I feel that it's just another stepping stone that we have to go and cross to beat Man City and say, okay, in this amazing year that we've had, not only did we almost or we achieved, but we also beat the previous winners, the best in the world, or quote unquote the best in the league. So I think me personal, that's more of a personal thing that I want Arsenal to be able to accomplish and be able to say at the end of the season, this is what we were able to do this season.
Yeah, I think Marco's right because I feel like Man City right now in the Premier League are right now the pedestal where everybody
That's why I had to correct
wants to
myself.
get.
Huh?
I
Yeah.
said the best in the world. Like no, best in the league. Sorry.
Yeah, best in the league.
Yeah, well, yeah,
You
but
gotta backtrack a little bit.
you know, that's what everybody in the league wants to aspire to be right now. So if we manage to beat them, yeah, our game got pushed back into the second part of the season, which kind of sucks. Kind of got them twice now when it really matters. So, you know, the Premier League's gonna do a fucking blockbuster depending how the title race goes towards the end of the year. But yeah, I mean, beating Man City is huge. I think that means more to Arteta though than actually Arsenal. I think for us is just get back to fighting, and then if we don't achieve it this year, I mean, just look at Man City again. It's hard not to like say that they're not gonna win it with the players they have. Haaland, granted, he is injured right now, so
Who's injured?
Haaland. I know, right? I know, right? The 10-game injury period has begun. So
Is he injured? He's injured?
Yeah, he got
Oh.
some foot problem. He was out against in the Champions League game today.
Ligament damage, my boy.
And we still don't have good information from Pep if he's even going to feature for the weekend because it's Pep.
So there's one thing I do want to segue. The beautiful voice behind the camera is Marco, our crack producer. Intros. We have.
Eric?
Your name is Eric. Thank you.
My stage name is Nico.
Oh, stage
name.
And then next to me
John,
is
aka Get.
And then myself, Diego Statro. Okay, guys, there's rumors of an Arteta. There's a carrot being dangled in front of your manager.
Who reported
right
it? Is this Porf?
It could be Sport. It could be Daily Mail.
It
It could be La Marca. It doesn't matter. There's a
Fucking
rumor.
Porf.
There's a rumor. Okay, it doesn't matter. It could have been some guy in his basement right now, in Barcelona, saying that he needs someone better than this fraud that they have, fraud V Hernandez. So
Raji.
that's the question, guys. How do you feel?
He's
If
a
this
fraud.
is
Yeah, he's a
true,
fraud.
if this is true, yeah, we'll get to him after during Champions League. If this is true, hypotheticals. I'm not trying to put you in a hot seat. I just want to get like your reaction. Hypotheticals. If Arteta does happen to take the carrot and this rumor does end up being true, how does that come to you guys?
A slap in the face because the project isn't done yet, and he promised us more.
Okay, slap in the face. You agree? Label traitor, snake emoji.
I have two feelings.
Okay.
I agree with Eric. A slap in the face. But I also want to say karma.
Karma.
Not for the Arsenal. Sorry. It's for more of Barcelona and them talking shit about when Real Madrid was struggling and swapping coaches so often, and what's happening now.
They're gonna end
exactly
up
the same thing.
probably doing that.
So again, karma on that end, but like I agree with Eric. It would be a slap in the face because I have a lot of expectation for Teta.
So Xavi's 42, Arteta's 40, among one of the younger managers in world football right now. Is there a possibility of an alternate dimension where you guys can see this as, okay, Arteta deserves this opportunity?
I think that'll
Down the
come
line.
after he wins.
He
something.
has to pay his credit first to Arsenal before he.
100%. He's still learning. I think he's learning his craft at Arsenal, and assuming he keeps performing the way he's performing and on that upward trajectory, I don't see why he would leave. But I also understand that he came from the academy of Barcelona. He is from that area, so it probably does hit home that he wants to go there. Give us a couple trophies, man. You know, bring us back to the top, and yeah, we can go. It's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna draw one parallel. Potter at Brighton. Not saying Brighton is level to Arsenal, but Potter at Brighton, everyone was saying, yeah, he deserves that chance because Chelsea's bigger. Chelsea is a bigger platform than where he is right now, just in that sense. Why not looking at it that way for Arteta maybe?
Because, like you said, Arsenal is a bigger club, so the expectation isn't achieve top 10, it's achieve trophies. For Brighton, he did what he was not expected, but what he was, I would say, told to do. Achieve a good season, get top 10, or I forget what they said. I'm pretty sure it was top 10 if I'm mistaken, right? And he's built a really good foundation for a team. So I think he did what Brighton would expect. Any top 6 team, I think, except for Spurs, would expect trophies. That's my view on it. I don't think Arsenal would expect anything less. Like, all right, we gave you the money, we gave you the players, you gave us the foundation, but you also have to bring us some more silverware on top of that.
So we're saying what? Sit tight 2 more seasons before he makes a move like that. If this is real, because again, hypothetical, I get it, but I think it's an interesting situation because it's like obviously we're not in Arteta's head. What if he's like, okay, this is the one chance that they're coming knocking, like you said in the intro, and if they don't knock again,
That's the thing. I don't think this is like the one chance that he's gonna have.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
he's gonna do good for many years to come, and I think it will come, but just not
I
right.
Yeah.
Not
Not right
it's
now?
gonna come again. Just maybe like I give it like a solid 5-10 years.
again, it's a rumor. So I just thought it was interesting that this
I mean, it's
would
not the
come
first
out
time.
now.
It's not
Yeah,
the first
exactly,
time.
yeah.
It's the second time we've heard it. We heard it like I think it was last year we even heard it before they even before they put in Xavi. Sorry, they were like, oh, who do we get? Who do we get? But no, I think if it happens, it's gonna be in 10 years time,
10 years
5-10
time.
years time. I think he's gonna be here for a long haul. Look at Klopp. He's been there for what 7
7.
years.
7.
Pep
yeah.
has been there for how long?
8.
8. If Arsenal are trying to follow any kind of
Yeah.
practice, which is like Liverpool and Man City, he's gonna be there for the long haul. He's only this is only what third, fourth year right now, 3.5 year. So I give him at least another 4 or 5 years.
All right, so you heard that, Barca, stay away.
For real, yeah, for real, yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
Spotify has one.
But look,
Number 2 team.
number 2 team. I mean, we're talking. You know, I like the transition about with Man City dropping points. They did drop points, but then they also came back. Yeah, how do you guys feel about Man City and the depth? Well, let's actually let's talk about the Haaland situation first because he is injured. So I kind of want to get your guys' reaction because I know you guys are smiling.
Listen, I doubled down. On my prediction. I'm not backing down. But I know that little shit is taking advantage of the fact that there's going to be a break during the World Cup. So where he would have missed 10 games, now four or 5 of them aren't going to happen because we're breaking for a month. So maybe we're strategic. Maybe it's, I don't know. I have no idea. But as long as it continues and he does have some sort of lengthy timeout, that's perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine with that.
What exactly is his injury?
Some kind of foot ankle problem or something like that.
Ankle ligament damage.
Oh damn! He dropped
Yeah, I
first
mean,
three.
we've seen. I mean, we've already seen videos of him still hobbling around. So it doesn't. It can't be that bad where he's still pictured trying to walk around where he's not on
But
bed.
you're not doing full training. I'm
He's
assuming.
limping though. Remember?
Yeah, he's limping.
He is limping.
You're not doing full training either.
No, hell no.
No.
Not at all. Which is
No,
again,
but
a
he
lot
was
of
not.
people-
He's not been directly ruled out for this weekend though. So
I think that's just
That's
Pep
Pep.
mind game. Pep mind
Yeah,
game.
that's
bro.
probably, yeah.
Pep
You
mind
actually wouldn't be surprised if he has him on the bench, even though he most likely will not play. But it's more of a mind game than anything
Who are they
else.
playing against weekend?
Yeah. They
off the top of my head, I should know.
Fulham.
this, but
Jesus,
yes,
Fulham, yeah.
Fulham in 7th place.
Fulham, who isn't the great. They're not the greatest defensively, but again,
But Man City are a completely different team when it's Julian Alvarez up front, though.
yeah.
They are a completely different team.
Isn't that crazy? You'd expect that because he's more of a Pep kind of style kind of player, and it's not really working for him. Interesting. But yeah, I mean, look, Man City just continue to get the results they need to get. It's kind of hard to say anything besides Haaland not playing for a while. Is his what's his goal count now?
I think was it 13, 14? Something like that. I remember seeing a post
it's
where
15. Huh?
No, I'm
Or
saying
16?
what's he gonna get now? Now that the
Oh,
injury's
what's he
here.
gonna get
Now that
now?
the injury's here.
not the record. He's not gonna break the record. I'll say that much. There are some people though on some other issues with City or regarding City, that conversation, Foden getting benched, the Grealish Almiron comparisons that's been pretty
Oh my
hilarious
Gosh.
to look at. I think he's left him completely dead in the water, dude. He really
I love
has.
those Grealish Almiron comments and just discussions. It's great.
Well, look, this kind of turns to Almiron real quick because the game week that we didn't kind of recap was Newcastle and Spurs. Well, Spurs at home with the law as they lost. How are you guys feeling first about the way that Spurs are playing? And when I say Atletico Madrid style because that's literally what I'm seeing. I want to see how you guys feel
I
about that and how did you guys expect Newcastle to be where they currently are right now?
I think across the board, especially this particular game week, we started to see the burnout across the board. I mean, even this past one, City only putting 1 past Leicester.
Yeah.
It's not like them. So across the board, anyone who's in Europe, we can see that there's that just the way the schedule is up until the World Cup, it's already getting to them.
That's a good point.
It's already getting to them. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing Spurs play like this. I mean, it is something we've come to know when it comes to Conte. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing more of it now, just because just who else does he have to play at this point? Richarlison's still not back. Kulusevski's still not back. Romero is out too now. So
Son's out now.
Son is now going to be out. Hopefully not that long. I wish Josue was here because he was telling us earlier what the status was, but I completely forgot. So it doesn't surprise me that they're playing like this. However, I am surprised that Newcastle are where they are so quickly. I mean, I knew they would get to this point. I just didn't think it would happen already.
Yeah.
Like, I figured maybe they would make a push at the end of the season, and then next season just full force summer window, just buy whatever gaps they need to fill. But they already did that. They actually bought pretty well. They actually plugged in every hole that they needed already, and we're seeing it, and it's great.
They have Isak to come back as well, right?
And they still have Isak to come back, but Wilson's gonna have a say in whether Isak plays or not.
The Nick, is that the real thing, the real deal?
What?
Is it the real deal to bring them to top 4? And
Honestly, at first, I didn't think he would be the one to get them top 4. I thought he'd be the one just to keep them stable, and then once maybe next summer in 2023, would time to bring in, I guess, a more popular and well-known manager. But I guess like now with, I mean, like you said, the trajectory he's going on, I think if he does get like top 4, probably I don't think they'll get top 4, but probably like top 6. I think you just have to stick with him and just see like what can happen. Because it would be amazing though. Like he like came from the gutter. Like he pretty much brought Bournemouth up from like League 2 all the way to where they are now in the Premier League. And then to see a manager like that who just came from the gutter, just not really like he's just like an English manager. A lot of people don't give English managers that kind of, I guess you could say credit until like kind of Graham Potter came along. But I mean, if he does keep them like stable, like top 4, top 6, I think they probably should keep with him, unless some crazy manager becomes available next summer. So just stay with him.
Okay, so 3 teams have only lost once in the league so far. The first one is Arsenal. The second one is Man City, and the third one is Newcastle United.
I'm sorry, repeat it again.
3 teams have only lost once in the league.
Damn, Newcastle. Wow.
Newcastle's
And they
part of
played.
that.
They play a lot of big teams. I know they played.
Correct.
City,
They
Liverpool.
are unbeaten
obviously
since
Tottenham,
losing to
United.
Liverpool in August.
Damn.
And they've played United, they've played Spurs, they've played again Villa,
City.
And they brought it to City too. That wasn't.
Yeah, it was
like
that
an easy game.
3-3, that crazy game.
So it's safe to say that Newcastle are definitely exceeding our expectations right now.
And this is all without Saint Maximin
Oh, he's
yeah.
injured?
for the longest
He is-
time.
no, he's on the bench.
He's on the bench
He's
now.
on the
Like he
bench.
like
Is there like a
he's
is it
making
like-
he made 2 cameo appearances, but he's not far away from getting back in.
Was
So
he,
they're
like,
doing this
carrying an
with
injury,
they're
something?
yeah. So they're doing all this without Saint Maximin. We see the likes of Almiron popping up now because of
How
of
good
that.
is this for him though? Like he's having a season now. He's having
It's just-
pro
it's-
patch, or is this what we the Newcastle fans and the club were expecting?
I also forgot he came from Atlanta United
Yeah.
from the MLS. That's crazy
Yeah.
too. And he's like,
I think he had one
Crazy.
But
season here, and then he
he
one
pop-
or two,
he-
maybe
he
popped off.
Popped off here though.
Popped off.
And I know it's MLS and there's not much respect given to MLS, but he popped off.
But the season that he not only was a new team, but they also won it all.
Yeah.
And then that's when he moved over to Newcastle, and then he had a struggle at the beginning, but I feel like little by little we'll see him like go up
Yeah.
in quality, and this season is just
Yeah, I
transformed.
think this is the start of the great player we think he's going to be, because this is definitely not a purple patch. There's finally a system. There's finally an identity for Newcastle. They've tightened up defensively, and they're just playing free flowing football. And then this is going to be he's just going to skyrocket from here.
Imagine,
I'm
imagine
curious to see, however, what's going to happen when Saint Maximin comes back, because he was pretty much like the focal point. This flashy player. All this nonsense about Saint Maximin, but I just think they're just playing so well with him on that right side that that's still going to continue regardless of who's on the other flank.
He did feature for 4 minutes this past weekend,
Mhm.
Saint Maximin against Villa, and he was pretty explosive like always.
Mhm.
But again, I think that displacement, as far as positionally, that could affect. So Almiron has 7 goals this season so
crazy.
far.
Mhm.
How much does he end with?
I want to say between 11
Which
to
does
14.
he end?
11 to 14.
I was
Give me
gonna
one
s-
number.
I was going to say 14.
I'll
14?
give you
14.
one. I'll give you 15. That's it.
15. 15 max.
14.
14.
Actually,
15.
nah. I'm going 13.
I'm
One
going
less.
15. We're only a third of the way
That's
third of the season through right now.
Yeah.
So
correct.
there's a
And
whole.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that would put him among like top 5 from
Yep.
last season.
I put him in 15 right now. Just
That's
the way,
crazy
just
to
the way
think.
they're playing because it's so early in the season. He already has 7. Like he has how much does Harry Kane have? I think he has like 9 or something.
Kane has 10 in
10?
second place, and Haaland has 17.
The way he said that, I was like, oh, whatever.
He's injured, so I'm chilling. He's injured, so I ain't shaking. I ain't
look,
shaking.
I also like how Almiron, like he comes from like a country who doesn't produce like
Paraguay?
top
Yeah,
like
Paraguay.
players as of right now. They used to. I remember I think they made the Copa America final like early 2000s. But either way, at least right now,
Nelson Valdez. You remember Nelson Valdez?
No.
That guy's a beast. That was
But
an animal.
The guy from ESPN FC is from what's his name?
Oh, hell no.
I hate
Alejandro
him.
Moreno? No, hell no.
is he from Paraguay?
Yeah, he's Paraguay.
Really?
No,
I hate
no,
him.
he's
He just
Venezuelan,
annoys me.
no?
Is he
I
Venezuelan?
think he's
thought he was
Venezuelan. I think he's
I think he's
Venezuelan.
Okay, maybe
Yeah, I
Venezuelan.
think
Either way, it's nice to see like a
Venezuela,
Paraguay
todo
player
que
represent.
Venezolano, te lo que sea. Yeah, you
look-
should look it up. Nelson Aedo Valdez.
Nelson Aldo Valdez.
Yeah, bro.
So maybe he's not a top 6 anymore. Maybe he's a top 7 with Newcastle and obviously
Yeah,
the
maybe.
power that they have now. but-
Who votes that they replace Spurs
Oh, 100%.
And what?
in the top 6?
Oh, absolutely, all day.
The money they
What do you
have.
think
Yeah,
of?
And that's not even-
They're doing what they're doing
And
now.
that's not even just because to troll and banter against us. Way like Newcastle are like are looking a proper
Okay,
team.
so look at this.
They're
look at
looking
this.
a proper
They have a good
team.
history.
Look,
They have the history too.
the comparison is Newcastle have lost a reference in their attack in St. Maximin, and they're doing great. How many of you guys are comfortable with Spurs' chances now that Son is out?
I mean, they already lost to Newcastle. So.
That's what I'm saying.
No, yeah, definitely not. None at all. No.
I mean, like,
confidence.
and it's like, okay, probably it's more situational, and probably like the crop of players that they have now definitely isn't helping. All right, I'll give them that. But at least they have, like he's saying to his credit, a system. And Spurs are losing. Yes, they have other injuries. I'm not glossing over that. But as far as losing key references in their attacking play, you feel like, okay, Newcastle can pick up the slack with other positions or in other tactics. And then now I don't even know how Kane's going to be able to do that, especially
Yeah,
against
and they
Spurs.
still and Newcastle still even
Against, Liverpool, I mean.
and they did lose these players, but like they still have their own depth. They're like they're flying under the radar with the actual depth they have. I mean, right now too, Joelinton is on 5 yellows.
Sheesh.
So
He's
he's
so good,
suspended.
though.
He's suspended for the next game. He's been a sensation since he
God.
moved into midfield. But even though with him out, they can slot in maybe Jacob Murphy in there, Sean Longstaff. Like those aren't like those are players that are actually going to
That can
stand
do
up
the
and hold it
job.
down. Yeah, they're
player,
going to
yeah.
hold it down.
Team players
I think they'll replace officially Spurs as top 6
in 10 years.
beginning. No,
Beginning next season.
I think much earlier. I think the beginning of the 24-25
I
season.
feel like the minute they
In 5
win a
years.
trophy, they'll replace them.
no, that'd be
Sooner, 3 years.
No, that'd be
24, 25.
3. Yeah,
1, 2, 3 years.
What
That'd
do
be
you
the
guys
season after
expect
next
from
season.
Yeah,
Newcastle
season
next
after next.
season?
A
What's that?
trophy.
What do you guys expect from Newcastle? What would be like? You think
Four-
okay, this is
fourth-
our
Fourth
expectation.
fourth place in a
place,
league
yeah.
trophy,
No way.
And a league trophy.
No way.
or domestic
That's
trophy. One
gonna be
A
the-
trophy.
Maybe EFL probably.
Yeah, like one
I'd
of
say
those.
top 6. Just keep it consistent, and then once you just keep adding players, and I'm pretty sure they'll know. All right, this is where we can challenge for multiple trophies. But just keep going top 4, top
Give
6.
Man City a
Yeah,
run.
I'll agree. I'll agree to top 6.
Because once they get that trophy, your Spurs better get it first, man. Because if not, bad
That's
news
true.
drops.
Yeah. Spurs has no
number
history,
3.
but Newcastle does.
What was that?
Number 3
Number 3
on the table.
Well, number
Well,
3
that
and
was
4
Spurs-
was
was Spurs,
3 is
Newcastle,
Spurs,
3, 4.
Newcastle's 4th. So now we go to number 5, which is the sleeping beast has woken up
I hope so.
in Manchester United.
I hope
Rashford
so.
unlocked the heading trait.
I hope so.
Maguire looked like prime Maguire back in Leicester.
Yeah,
He
he
started
And
last game.
Martinez is
He
shutting
had
up
to.
all the haters.
Yeah, how
How
tall,
tall
is
is he now, Nick?
How tall is he now, Nick?
He's
Still not
6
tall
foot.
enough to get on a fucking amusement park.
He's 6 foot. He's not 6 foot yet, Nick.
little leecher.
My boy's gargantuan, bro. Gargantuan. For what it's worth, him doing well. I hope I hope the enticement of the World Cup being so soon is also motivating him. I feel like that's
play
that's
harder?
a big boost. No. To at least keep his head. To at least keep his head. Because he talks about specifically how they have Argentina chance. So
Yeah, he's been otherworldly. What Martinez or Ericsson? Who would you say signing?
we're signing.
Ooh,
Signing of
that's a
the
good
season so far.
question.
That's a tough one.
Ericsson's been a
Because I
revelation
know
for
we
you guys.
definitely
yeah,
were in the
Eriksen's
same boat and said Ericsson in the beginning.
Yeah,
but
we
like
definitely said
now,
it.
do you stick to that?
I definitely would have said Eriksen.
Do you
in the
stick?
beginning.
Do you still stick to
But
that?
that's the thing. Like, it's not Eriksen's fault that he has to be rested, that he can't play. If you were younger, maybe like what 2 years, and he obviously didn't go through what he went through health wise, we'd be saying Eriksen all day. I
That's
think that's not his
crazy.
fault. I think that's not his fault. But Martinez, he's been consistent. That's the only thing I'm asking for. And the fact, like, the moment where I was like, okay, is the real deal is when, yes, he has Varane next to him, but then he did it with Lindelof, and then he did it with fucking Maguire.
The thing is that like Varane, Lindelof, and Maguire all individually have well, not Lindelof maybe not so much, but those two have looked bad. But since he's came in,
Since he's come in, yeah.
they've looked better.
I'll
like
give him that. I'll give him that.
he just makes them better as and he's a quality player, man. I hate that you guys got him.
I'll give him that.
I do because I really I did his like he was linked to us and everything. I did his whole little.
You
research, and
did,
he
you
was
did,
just
did a
so
scouting?
yeah, man. He was
YouTube
like
scouting?
he was yeah,
The compilation reels and shit.
bro. Like, he was up there. This guy's
All right, so what's up with Anthony Spins, guys?
yeah, man.
Let him play.
Let him
please.
play.
Let him play. I mean, there's so much talk,
Nick's
especially
looking at you like,
let the dude play.
get it
Oh,
out of
no,
get it
bro.
out of the game.
I mean,
False
No.
everyone's
weird,
giving him
shit like that.
shit because he does the spin and then he tries the pass. Granted, yes, maybe his pass wasn't weighted as it should have been. It was a little harder than he probably intended, so it didn't get to its target. But so fucking what?
Look,
Let the
man,
kid play. You
it's
can
the
see
art-
you can see in the video when he starts the spin, the defender just literally did not know what to do. Because he didn't know what was going on. So and that let him be able to cut in a little bit and actually make that pass. Because he just caught the defender completely off guard. So it was entertaining. I mean, let the
At the
kid
end of the
play.
day, this sport is for entertainment. The reason why a lot of people fall in love with football is watching Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho,
And that's
yeah.
the stuff that he's just it's in art. It's the way you express it with the football. Yeah, maybe it's kind of like
Ronaldinho never did that though.
he's done a lot of it.
Like spins like that though.
No, spins like not. No,
Maybe
we're
not
not
like
talking
that,
about the spin.
but
We're
just
No,
talking
I'm
like
talking
about
about
just
like
the
a
flair.
move
No,
like
the
that.
flair.
Like
Just
that's
like the
skill.
flair.
You know what?
that
How you
Anthony spin
prevent
is
it?
completely different
Don't
from
give him
what
that
Dino
space.
has ever done.
So you're
Like
saying-
Dino's never done like a move like that where he just
But
like,
Ronaldo,
it's
when he
nonsensical.
dribbled down, remember that time he fucking just did like touches up with his knee all the way down the fucking pitch? And nobody's saying anything. They were all, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing was Anthony, he's stationary. He's not moving.
Well, you know how you
you do
prevent
the
that?
same thing when you do
Don't
Like
give him
Neymar,
that-
like
don't
I've
give him
never
that
seen
space.
Neymar do something like that.
Don't give him the space.
Wait.
You allowed him to
Like
do it.
I
because
don't
you gave him
mind the whole
space.
flair thing, but like that specific move, I don't know.
I
That's
think
like
he should
where
continue doing it just for shits and giggles.
Fuck it.
like
Just to
that
piss off-
specific
You know
move.
who is pissing off? The people that get participation trophies. Those are the people that are getting pissed off about that.
Oh shit.
So
That's
you don't
Okay.
agree with it?
I don't agree with that specific move. Like
So-
I don't agree.
No,
with
but
the
you
just
agree.
staying-
You agree with them saying they should not have the Brazilians or the.
Oh no, I
Central
don't agree
Americans
with
shouldn't-
that.
Shouldn't be allowed to do the flares or have that Jogo Bonito.
No, I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that specific move that Anthony does, at least in game.
Is that where you draw the line? Like, if it's just like to put on a display, or if it's actually affecting the game?
Because
When Dino did shit, like he would affect the game. Like I'm not, Neymar is probably the most flairiest player of all time.
When Neymar
Because,
does it, he gets kicked.
well, the thing with the Neymar though, he's moving with the ball, or he's trying to
It's
trick
always-
his
it's
defender. The
but-
thing with Anthony,
yeah,
that's like
that's the end game is shoot the defender.
I love the
That's a
whole
fair
like
point. That's a
like
fair
show
point.
your flair. I don't agree with that specific move that Anthony did.
So what move would you rather him do?
Just go at the player and do something. is what
Like
you're
do
saying?
something like mad step overs or like fucking CR7 chop. I don't know, but like that specific move, I don't agree with it.
I liked it.
This
I
is
thought it was
this is
cool.
this is the evolution of celebration police is the skill moves
Wow.
police.
Yeah, no, but like when Neymar and Dino did like I guess you can say bullshit like that, they would affect
I
the
get
game
it,
like
I
not
get
like
it.
on very minute level, like in terms of moving the defender or moving with the ball. But that specific move that Anthony did, like he's
You're
you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. Like you're arguing efficacy, like functionality. If you're gonna do the move, make sure it gives you something. And we'd be saying that if he did the spin and the pass went off. Obviously, it didn't go off. So I feel like if they're gonna do flair, they're gonna do flair.
I don't know. I feel like if the pass did come off,
It was so pointless.
in my opinion, I just wouldn't agree with that specific move. That specific move. But yeah.
You know what grinds my gears? You gotta come here next week.
I'm interested.
Anthony's damn spin move.
I gotta watch that.
I'm
Well,
gonna
look.
do it again. I
The
hope-
thing is that everybody was kind of asking for it, and I think he had it.
Okay, all right. You know that clip against Arsenal where he does this little fucking
Oh yeah.
leg kicks?
When he-
I don't mind that because that's actually like
Don't you
Like,
remember
yeah, it's
St.
like-
Maximin this season? He started dancing around the ball, and the ball was just there. Everybody went crazy for
I
that.
was talking shit about that. I was
But
talking
in my
shit
opinion,
about
that's
that.
different to him just spinning around because it's
No, that's
But
the
he,
same
but he still,
bullshit.
but
Nah,
he
I
still,
disagree.
but he still
Bro,
froze
the-
the defender, and
dude,
he
But,
got
alright,
the
if it
defender
is-
was
I
flat-footed.
disagree with you on that.
If it
I
is-
think it's the same exact bullshit. I did commend St. Maximin
Yeah.
for that. I'm not coming to Anthony now, so maybe
Okay,
that's my
that
bias.
Messi Maximin was bullshit. But I'm just saying the Anthony shit was just more bullshit. I
That
don't
is
know.
both bullshit.
But
though.
he
Okay, no.
still, but Anthony Spin
Yeah,
still,
it's both-
Anthony Spin
So
still
what-
froze the defender enough and caught him flat-footed enough that he was still able to still get a pass
Yes,
off.
see, if he put the defender asleep by doing that you could say that's like the guy saying catching him flat-footed and then
It is true, but I mean, no one has
But-
ever seen that.
Exactly.
That's
So nobody
fine.
knows.
That's
nobody
fine.
knows.
Fine.
Nobody
That's
knows how to
fine.
react to it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
What are
why
you
St.
gonna-
Maximin,
I'm
I'm sorry, I
gonna
come
turn-
back to you.
Yeah.
Because you're
Sorry.
spinning the ball
Don't
around.
at him. Don't at him.
Hey, listen, if it turns out that by game week 20 he does it again and someone just fucking slides into him because they know he's gonna be stationary,
That'll be
okay
funny.
then.
That's just
That'll be
I
funny.
get the argument. I'd laugh too. I get the argument. Like it's not effective, but I think for what it's worth, he's showing. If his move, like his signature thing, I feel like the same thing with the only. I don't know why, but this is coming to mind when Cuauhtemoc Blanco would do the Blanco hop, and he would like freaking.
Oh yeah, I
he-
remember that.
He'd grab the ball between his legs and he'd just hop over, and it's obviously like he's not doing anything. But as far as getting around the defender, flat-footing the defender, it's effective.
How effective was that? I don't think it was that
It
effective.
was.
Dude,
It
I've
was.
seen Edgar do that move.
It was. bro.
I've seen Edgar do
I
that
have
move
seen
so many
Edgar.
times and he pulls it off.
Maybe
No way.
that's the reason why I
That's
feel
the
like it's that
last person I know.
effective
Dude,
because
he
Edward
does.
does
Dude,
it.
he does that move all, and he actually pulls it off. I'm
Yeah,
like, wow.
la Cuauhtemoc, bro.
It's
La
a good move.
Cuauhtemoc.
Damn. Okay. I'm interested. I'm kind of.
But
Wait,
at
so
least
real,
on the base, we're all Jogo Bonito, right?
yeah,
all
oh,
right.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, absolutely.
Like the
Okay.
whole
No,
like
But then real,
Talk about Ten Hag coached him, has managed him. He knows about him.
He knows him.
If it was a really big deal, he would have probably told him, "Don't do it."
yeah, I mean,
he's
Ten
good
Hag
at
did
it.
say after that, he's like, oh yeah, as long as it doesn't, like, you don't lose possession or something like that, then it's fine. I'll take care of that. Is all he said. Like that's
Let him,
like
let him
play.
express himself.
But I mean,
let him
real quick because we kind of got it was a quick tangent.
Because we don't
That
want to talk about Man
That
anymore.
Chelsea game, that was an ugly ass game.
That was an ugly.
That was an ugly ass game.
well, I want to talk about.
McTominay should not have been
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that
yeah,
position.
I want to
check,
talk about.
check.
I gotta talk about a certain guy, CR7.
Yeah. Relax.
The video where he didn't shake Gary Neville's hand.
Oh, he
Yeah,
did
you blanked on
the blank club.
Yeah, the blank club. Sorry, Gary Neville.
Him
what
and
do you
Gary
guys
Neville.
think?
I thought it was funny.
Yes, fuck.
I thought it was funny.
Great.
And then he gets recorded by Michael Richards afterward with Roy Keane. And then I think like you can't go anywhere. Like he has to fucking take that L, and he did. He's like, well, at least it means he listens to me. But he did listen to him, and then he.
Are you
didn't
asking about
wanna touch it.
Ronaldo?
What do you mean?
Like Ronaldo's standpoint, or
Yeah.
I think that's very petty of him.
It is very petty. Absolutely, it's absolutely petty.
And-
You think so? You think you can't take criticism?
100%. 100%. And I think that was proven when he walked off the pitch. Who was it against Spurs?
That was against-
I think that
It
was
Spurs.
Yeah.
his.
Yes, because then he was left out completely for the Chelsea
Yes,
game. Yep.
yes.
Yeah. So I think that's to me that was like this guy he can't be managed. He thinks he's just too big. I mean, he's doing it now. Granted, I mean, not get it from him, but I think he dug his grave already. Honestly,
Or would you
Very
say
petty.
the United fan base is on him?
I like.
Because I feel like the tone that I give, at least on Twitter, is just like it's very like negative on him, at least for now.
I think it's half. No,
No, I think it's negative. I feel like
Really?
most people, at least I would hope that the sensibility is that okay, you can't fucking do that. Like, and it comes back to the Spurs game, and then leading back to the Gary Neville thing. I don't know, but he was like, what was he talking about? Roy Keane asked him, I think, and he was like, oh, he was talking like he pretended like as if you didn't play with him or anything like that. And so I was like, well, that's interesting. What if he took it as like motherfucker, like I play with you, you know me, and you're gonna be over here like airing my shit out. However, there still is a point to where Eric's saying what Gary Neville said contextually was you got to be professional at all times. Don't fucking leave your team without the final whistle even blowing. So I'd like to see it both ways, but still, I think I would like to think that the negativity is widespread. I feel the blanket majority would understand that he shouldn't have done that, and then he just looks like a dickhead at the end of the day. He really does. He doesn't look like he's there for the team. Doesn't look like he's there for the manager, the players, his teammates, the fans, whatever. So, at risk of running out of breath, Rashford doing great. Martial still out. 100 goals, Rashford, man. I do want to dunk on people specific United fans that wanted Rashford out last season. I feel like that was I think that was reactionary.
I'm reading he's linked to PSG, and they're trying to tie him down before.
Yes, yeah. There was who's talking to him? Oh my God, there was someone that
There's
spoke
no
to him.
way he's leaving.
He was like, Evra. Evra was with him last season during one of the games, and he had just mentioned where in a conversation he was asking him about what do you think about all these rumors, shortening it, and then
Is that the
Rashford's
one
like,
where
no,
he
there's
said, "Why would I leave the best?"
yeah,
club
why
or
would I leave
something?"
the best club in the world for me? Why would I leave the best club that's seen me grow up since a child, whatever. And then I think like, and then I remember reading there were some other comments there saying like, okay, how bad must it have been that the one person who is the ultra fan of this one club that means so much to him that even he was being swayed because he probably was. He probably was like, if this isn't gonna get any better, I'm dedicated all my life, and I think that makes sense. If you spend your whole life to one club and it's not treating you with what you've given to them, you'd leave. Kind of like Arteta Barcelona.
He's only 25 years old, man. It's like
Yes,
crazy
he's only
how
25,
young
which
he
is crazy. Which is crazy.
You know what's also crazy? Reece Nelson having the same goal and assist as fucking Sancho.
I
Right
knew
now.
that was coming, bro.
Yeah, they broke.
I
broke
knew that was
together.
coming,
I was gonna say,
bro.
what did Kyle say the other day?
I knew that was
Yeah,
coming.
They both
I
grew up
mean,
together as well.
Yeah, from Carrington. I forget where this is from, but Sancho overall this season.
I don't know what's up with Sancho, bro.
I
really don't.
I don't know either.
But he got to step it up because obviously you got the price tag memes, you got all of the
I feel like it
expectations.
hasn't been that
and shit
bad
like
for him
that.
though.
Huh?
I feel like it hasn't been that bad for him.
What?
Like any memes. Like I think he got it early on, but
It was
not
last
bad.
season.
No, he
the
got it last
007.
Last
Yeah,
Yeah,
double
yeah.
seven.
The
yeah.
007.
Like,
That shit was
like
like-
now it's died down. Like I haven't heard a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just needs the consistent games. I think he was doing okay when he was playing on the left and Rashford was playing up top. Since we got Anthony now who's strictly on the right.
Mhm.
So I don't know, just if Anthony's out for right now because he does have a little bit of a knock. So throw Sancho back in right wing and we'll probably see him do a lot better. He just needs the minutes. But Sancho's also ill apparently too now.
Yeah, I
too.
hope he does.
So we'll see when he comes back.
We'll see how we do against Unai Emery this weekend. I
Yeah.
don't like that.
I'm nervous.
I don't like
I
that.
think that's gonna be a good move
I'm
for
nervous.
Villa.
I don't like that, bro.
ABL.
Whatever.
All right, so let's move on to Chelsea. Got the win over United. I'm sorry, got the draw against United, and they got spanked by Brighton. Holy shit, 4-1, bro.
That was
Forgot
great.
about
I
that.
loved it. I loved every minute of it.
Aubameyang.
And they were giving the
disappointment.
fans were giving
Porter.
shit to Potter.
Why'd you leave us?
But also not only that, but
Two more times for you.
Porter, why'd you leave us?
Did
Bitch.
you guys? How much time do you think Potter's gonna get at Chelsea?
He's not, and that's what I'm telling you. Like I stand by that, bro. Managerial suicide, bro.
Is it already turning the tide?
I think
You also have to remember before we get too much into this conversation. This is Potter's first loss.
But the
Yes, there's a
games-
lot of draws in there, but technically it was his first loss.
That's a fair point.
sure
But when you look at again the
what Chelsea
performances,
demand
yes,
from their managers and from their team consistently.
and their fans, bro. I mean, we all know how they are.
And I know it was Brighton fans definitely trolling, but getting chanted, you're getting sacked in the morning from your former club, bro.
In your former home too, because
Yeah,
they were at the Amex.
exactly.
Yeah, it
That
was.
shit was clear, bro. That shit was loud and clear. That
It
was
is, bro.
crazy.
They
I'd be
showed 'em
pissed
off.
too.
I don't know.
I'd be
I
pissed
just
too.
like that game was just amazing to watch. But how disappointing do you think it is that Aubameyang has gone there and hasn't done a single thing?
I love it.
Not effective.
Very obvious turnout.
Right?
That would happen.
Like,
Very obvious.
it's
Yeah, you're kind of solo writing on the wall with that.
how do you guys feel about the rumors of Ronaldo going to Chelsea?
I can't believe it. man.
Actually, I think Tuchel was sacked because he didn't want Ronaldo.
Do you think because he got sacked and Potter's in and knowing how not knowing but seeing how this new owner is, Ronaldo's going to be coming next season? So, not
The
well,
Windsor?
I would
I
say
feel like it's his most likely club in my opinion.
I feel like there was like a dinner between Bully and Potter. He's like, if you lose next game, I get Ronaldo.
That's funny. I feel like that is probably his most likely club.
really.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, there's no way.
How would you guys feel as a
No.
United fan?
I feel fucking sick. I'd feel sick. Like, why would you? Like, I get it, but
Like even like the whole rivalry United Chelsea like in the
Nah,
late 2000s.
nah,
Why would
nah,
you?
you
I'd
don't
say
want that.
fuck it.
you don't want that.
Go mess up their locker room.
They already
No, 'cause
fucked
here's
up.
the
Might as
thing.
well go fuck them up more.
Here's the
Go-
easiest
go
the
on.
easiest litmus test. How do you feel about Van Persie?
I fucking hate that.
Yeah,
guy.
you see what I mean? I don't want that to happen with
You
Ronaldo.
asked me that day.
I don't want that to happen
you
with
sent me,
Ronaldo.
I think 3 players or 4 players. Like this player, somebody else, and Van Persie. I'm like,
who's
fuck
the
Van Persie,
best?
fuck off. Other people's like, really, Van Persie? Yeah, fuck him. I don't care.
I think who's the best Emirates era player? Or whatever, but-
Sanchez, Van Persie, and
Cesc.
Cesc. Yeah. I said
Yeah.
fucking Persie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want that. I don't want that. And I will stick to that.
You're an asshole. For
I
bringing
was-
it up. Van Persie. You knew the reaction. What a dick.
I don't want
either,
that.
It's either Chelsea or he goes to like some
Go back
club
to
and like
go to
Qatar or some
no,
shit
He
go
like
might
to
end.
that, Saudi
Sporting.
He
Arabia.
might end up back in fucking
Al
Juve.
Hilal.
He'll end up back at Juve.
I
Oh,
just,
that-
you know, I
okay,
just
I
saw,
could see that.
you know,
I
Juve
just-
are stupid enough.
He'll
to do
end
that.
up. He'll end
bro,
up back in Juve.
I saw a video about that. A fucking online where it was this comedy. I think it was Copa 90. So shout out to them or whoever this chick is. She's been doing like
Oh,
consistent
dude, she's
reviews.
amazing.
Yeah, she's pretty
awesome,
good.
bro.
So she was talking about like, oh, all these spoiled Juve fans that were just bitching at Ronaldo, blah blah blah. He got 110 goals, all these appearances, 5 trophies in 3 seasons, and now look at them right now. They're completely fucking in the mud, and their biggest problem right now is Allegri. And how I know we're getting ahead to Champions League, but how they finish the Champions League is not any better. It's not any better. So actually, I would float that. I'd wear.
What's
I'd wear
Ronaldo's
the tinfoil.
contract?
I'd wear the tinfoil.
Does
for
it
that.
expire this summer?
Yes, I think it was
Mhm,
18
I think
months.
so.
And I mean, Juve love a stupid free transfer, so
It could be free also. It could be free, which would suck, but whatever. It would
yeah.
suck.
So that is, and for the next thing, let me just scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Oh, there you are. Liverpool.
scroll down more. Down like a half a second.
I found it a long time ago. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. It was too easy. Nick, back-to-back weeks. I felt like we didn't record just because
Bro,
of these
Nick
results.
Nick avoided all the banter, bro.
I did
I'm
it.
kind of sick about that. Bro,
Was it Forest? I know they lost against Forest. We
Forest
didn't
and then
record that
Leeds.
week.
we
We
didn't
didn't
record
record
that
that week.
and
And
we
Leeds.
recorded
And
we
Leeds
recorded Leeds
back
either.
to back.
Exactly, we didn't record, so it's not my fault. I didn't.
No,
I thought
that's
you're
what he's
lying,
saying.
bro.
That's what he's saying. He
You're
thinks it
lying.
is.
Okay, but
Does that mean it was
That's why we waited for.
Yo,
it.
that's
what
why-
can I do? What can I
Yo,
do?
bro, I knew it, bro. I was like, yo,
bro.
Nick is awfully agreeable to just like pushing off the recordings, bro. Like, could he be avoiding something, bro? I can't. Like, okay, no one would have expected Liverpool to lose back to back, let
No.
alone to these two teams,
Especially
100%.
for us.
let alone these two
And
teams.
Leeds at home.
Leeds.
And
Oh,
Leeds at
Yeah,
home.
Leeds at home. Yeah, they're home. Yeah.
And we don't freaking record on each week to give it to Nick.
Because we wanted to pile it all up into one episode. so we
Okay,
could just
dogpile,
enjoy
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay,
that's
but
fine,
all right,
that's
but
fine.
Liverpool won yesterday, so now it's,
No.
They were already through. That was a bullshit game.
Nah,
First of all,
That was a bullshit game.
fucking I know
Recency-
it's
recency
Champions League, but look,
bias.
fucking, we're already ahead of football, American football with this VAR technology that they introduced. in
Oh yeah,
Champions
that's
League.
right.
Fucking
that
crazy.
was funny.
The chains. Two-
Bro,
His shoulder
two-
was
two
offside or
sticks
some
on a
shit like
chain.
that.
bro. Jesus,
To
fuck,
measure
man.
first
That
But
was
downs.
fucked.
2 losses on a bounce. Premier League titles are pretty much in the gutter now.
Yeah, that's been gone for like fucking months ago.
You know, Diego.
I don't
you
even know
Diego?
how many points
I
are behind
think-
Arsenal.
You know, Liverpool have never been the same since they lost. Since they lost to us.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
It didn't take him 2 seconds of Nico saying, "I don't even know how many points we are far away from Arsenal." When Eric automatically answered the question, which is it was like on the spot. He had to just barely.
Listen,
finish
But yeah, no.
Ever since-
Liverpool have not been the same since
Ever
they lost
since-
to us.
Yeah,
in
ever
the
since
beginning of the
United
season.
were promoted.
Well,
Yeah.
that preseason match.
It's not preseason. It's not preseason. Listen, I'm looking straight to the camera. Ever since United were Bangkok champions, Liverpool have not been the same. I'm just saying it right now. I'm saying it right now. Okay, so Liverpool are in the mud.
I think they're closer to relegation than they are to the.
Tell
to
us-
the top.
Tell us how you feel. Tell us how you feel and how it's all Henderson's fault. Go.
No, it's all Fabinho's fault now.
It's all Fabinho's
Yeah,
fault now.
Nunez, bro.
What do you mean Darwin?
Oh, I'm sorry. then.
Darwin is a revelation.
Bro.
Darwin has given me life.
Darwin's taking along. I'll give him that.
Listen, all I know is
Darwin doesn't even know when he's gonna score.
That's why I love him.
He just shoots it like, oh shit, that went in.
Hey,
Bro, the amount of
know,
time
you-
that he missed this past game.
It was once. It was once.
Twice.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 2.
even better.
was
Even
once.
better.
And then,
was once.
what was it? This game or was it the previous game where he tried to make that pass, but ended up falling to the ground?
Oh, that was a training video.
Oh yeah, that was a training
No,
video.
trading
So
video.
what do I?
No. This it was against Forest or it
Oh
was.
no, but he
like,
should have passed
he
it. He should have passed it, and then he
He should've
shot
Probably
it.
against
He should've
City.
shot it.
Against City,
That was
probably.
probably against City.
Was it a City?
No.
It was against City.
He shot
was-
it and they
no.
decided to make a pass. And
It
then
was
he went
against
to the
Leeds.
ground.
We were watching it.
Yeah, so it was that
against
one, right?
Leeds.
Okay.
Yeah. He should have passed it to Salah, who was alone on the other side, and they took
Okay.
forever to shoot the ball. But
We're not letting them speak. We're
Yeah,
not letting
yeah.
them
Hey, ask me a question. Ask me a question.
Alright,
Honestly, I forgot the game.
How
I
is it-
have a very clear, I guess, observation, and I think it kind of stems with not Van Dijk per se, but I noticed it with him the most, and Trent, where across the board, maybe not with Alisson, but across the board, all the players are just very complacent and are just banking on their past success and achievements that is going to bail them out somehow, and they're not putting in the extra gear, or just just trying to get to the ball, putting the extra sprint in, and it just feels like they're just very complacent and just I'm Van Dijk, I can do it. Or I'm Trent, I'll put the ball in to score a goal.
I was listening to a fantasy podcast earlier. Shout out to Planet FPL. Apparently, in 12 league games, Liverpool have been outrun in 8 of them.
So
Yeah, it's so unlike Liverpool.
Exactly.
that's I didn't
Just to add on to the complacency.
I think there is a lot sense of lost motivation, just because I feel like with Liverpool they've gotten second place so much, so they lost the league by a point last season. They lost the Champions League final in the span of a week. I just think at some point, unless you have the mentality of fucking David Goggins or some shit. You guys know what David Goggins is? He's like some alpha. He's really good though. Either way though.
is he like the top G motherfucker?
No. He's incredible. His story's incredible. Either way, in my opinion, I feel like there's a sense of just lost motivation where these players have just they've won a lot, but they've also lost a shit ton of trophies, and I just feel like, what's the point of getting to that place again if you're just gonna lose again? I don't know. That's a sense that I get, and also against this sense of just physical decline. A lot of these players, specifically Fabinho, in which his decline has been very evident since the past 10 months maybe. But the physical decline, in my opinion, the sense of lost motivation.
So could the 7-year thing, could this be what the 7-year curse is for Klopp? So many years of just almost there. Yeah, getting a taste here and there, but never really getting that era of complete dominance. And the players just eventually just all right, we give it our all. Man City are gonna take it, or Real Madrid are gonna win Champions League.
Bro, that's so lame. And as much as I hate Liverpool, I don't think
you
they're
have
that
to, you also
lame, bro.
consider Liverpool have lost a shit ton. They lost the league by a point twice and lost 2 Champions League finals.
Yeah, it's every year you're almost there. Why this year?
If you think about the great teams like United, they only lost the Champions League final against. I'm pretty sure they lost the league by a point against. I think it might have been Chelsea. They also lost the Champions League final against Barca, and then they lost against Barca the following week. But look how many trophies they won: also Madrid, Barca, etc., etc. Liverpool have lost a shit ton of trophies.
That's
they
what I'm
could have
saying
won.
though. It's specifically just talking from United's perspective, losing that final to Barcelona and then coming back, even though they lost again, they still got there. I can't imagine Liverpool being that fickle to be
The thing is that they did though. They lost to Real Madrid.
And they
beat Spurs.
They beat Spurs, and then they lost the league, and then they won the league again.
VAR beat Spurs. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. VAR beat
But-
Spurs.
Sleep at that game.
Damn, I don't know. So wait, you think it's just what do you think it is?
I stubbornly I want to give them more credit. I don't think they're all remember how we were all talking about Trent? We'd have to claim that entire team is full of Trents, and I refuse to believe that. There's no way. There's no way.
I think the entire team. But there are players like he said outrunning. That's a clear example.
Sure, but
and we can even specify to the player if that's the case. But I'm saying, Alisson, for example, I don't think he's trying any less. I think he's still, if not the best
fucking
goalkeeper
incredible.
in the
yeah,
league.
of course.
But players like Van Dijk, you could see him not just
not trying?
Just not trying.
I mean-
Trent, you see it. Thiago, I think he's one of the players more trying. Fabinho, his drop off is insane.
Yeah.
Salah is just not scoring. It's just it's not really connecting. And I don't know. Can you pinpoint, or do you think?
I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of probably the lack of spending while you're at the top. When Liverpool won a Champions League, they bought 3 players. They bought Adrian, they bought Harvey Elliott, and they bought Seth Vandenberg, who's out on loan at Preston. Like when City won the league, their owner, I forgot his name, but he was like, yeah, even though we won the league, we still want to strengthen, etc. Like I think it's a combination of just unwillingness to just go that extra little bit farther, and then combination of Jurgen Klopp's just like I've said it like a million times before the season, like stubbornness and thinking like only the right player fits him, and if it's not a right player like Tchouaméni or Bellingham, I don't want him or whatnot. And then I think it's a combination of that, along with the physical decline that you've seen in players, which I mean, as expected. With like I guess you can say Liverpool's play style in the past 5 seasons. But I mean the physical decline with Fabinho is ridiculous. Like the guy's 29.
Yeah, he's just
Like
fine.
the guy's 29 and he's a DM. He's not like he's running box to box every game. Bless you. Like he's prime Yaya Torre or something like that. Like the guy is 29. Like for, yeah. Oh yeah, nowadays, but I think it's just a combination of just everything in my opinion. I don't think in my opinion you can pinpoint it on one specific
So now,
thing.
not to get too much into this particular conversation, but do you think now at this point, with only 2 games left, do you think the World Cup also has something to do with it? With the way they've been playing, they're kind of just thinking, let's just get to the World Cup, and then we'll see it on the other side.
Wait, so you're saying like they're going into like
They're half-assing
they're half-assing it to the World Cup?
Yeah, like I
Is it
mean,
a-
just not just their form recently. Do you think at this point, knowing that there's only 2 games or 2 weeks left, do you think they're just gonna be like, all right,
Points
just fuck,
matter, bro.
just
Just
fuck
like just
it,
get to the finish line.
let's
or,
just
like,
get to the World Cup, and then we'll take care of business after.
I don't think it's a team in general. I mean, there could be players who just say, I just want to get to this World Cup. Like maybe Van Dijk wants to get to the World Cup already and just like because it's been a shit show with Liverpool. I just want to get to the World Cup and
Right, that's what I
captain
mean.
my
Just
team
want-
in the Netherlands.
How good of
Okay.
a mentality can you walk into the World Cup with?
That's
If,
the
like,
thing, bro.
Like you
I think it's
imagine
different,
like,
though.
oh fuck, I've been struggling all this time, but don't worry, the World Cup, I'm 100% back. Like no,
I think it's
your mentality is already fucked up from here on out.
But-
you have to start working it from here so that when the World Cup hits, you're good to go. But if you half-ass from here, like, fuck it, we get 4 out of the next 6 points. Whatever.
No, I agree in terms of
Come on.
form going into the World Cup, but I think in terms of mentality, I think it can completely change. Like I think if you're like in a shit mentality with the team and you go into like
The
a
World Cup
good
can
like
be
a-
World Cup can be like, okay, this is a fresh start, like that.
but,
Yeah.
but not in
It's-
terms
I-
of
I
like
do
his
agree
club.
on something
Obviously,
fresh.
I think
Him-
I
him
think
and
like for
him
example,
as
I'm
a
gonna use Van Dijk as an example. In terms of form, I think it absolutely affect his World Cup form. But in terms of mentality, I think him going into a World Cup, captaining his team, this is his first major tournament. I think he'll just feel like a sense of like new culture,
and hunger.
at least for Netherlands as a whole, and then obviously other players, not even for Liverpool.
So you
And it might
expect
give him that
clubs.
taste of like competitiveness.
So,
like,
yeah,
oh, I gotta go.
So
extra
you're
mile here.
hoping that the World Cup for the players that are going, this is gonna be like kind of like a wake up. Or who's gonna like, okay, let's wake up. Let's start moving. Let's start whatever, so that whatever performance you provide, you can continue that for the rest of the season.
I'd hope so, but I don't think so.
No, I think the World Cup is well. I mean, obviously this year is completely different, and this second half of the season, the World Cup, I think we're gonna see affect a lot of players, not only in injuries, obviously we know that, but in mentality. Because let's say, for example, just for shits and giggles, England. I'm thinking of Arsenal, right? England get to the final and Saka misses a penalty again. That's gonna affect him for the second half of the season, and he might not put in the same performance, or depending on him, it might just drive him to be even hungrier. But I think that we're gonna see a lot of these situations happening to players across Europe, across the world in general, that when they don't have a good World Cup run, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, a World Cup is really a showcase for the best players that want to get moved to bigger clubs. If they don't have a good run in the World Cup, or they get knocked out early after high expectations, or they do so good and then they end at such a bad note, leaves a sour taste in their mouth, that form, that mentality is going to transfer over to the league. And I think we're going to see that huge in the second half of the season. So I'm nervous who it's going to affect the most.
I mean, we don't have to go that far. Didn't Salah have to experience something similar last
Oh,
season?
yeah, I
Where
mean,
he
lost.
lost against
Yeah.
Mane's team, and then he came back. He didn't come in like 100%. It took
No,
him
it
a while
was
to get
re-
back.
really poor.
Yeah, he came back from
Post-AFCON.
AFCON, and he was just not good for a couple weeks.
And maybe that could be
That's a good
That
example.
could be that's actually a great point, maybe,
Yeah.
because maybe Salah is going through it mentally right now. Like, it's the World Cup here, like,
And he's not gonna go.
I'm not going, and maybe that's why he's not as hungry as.
I mean, think about it, like
That's
Salah.
a good point.
Salah lost an AFCON final. He didn't go to the World Cup. He lost the Champions League final. He lost the Premier League by a point, all in the span of like 5 months or 4 months.
So
Nah, bro.
maybe not complacency, just
I refuse to play the world's smallest violin for these guys, bro. I will though.
Wait,
I
wait,
will
Eric,
though.
Eric, I'm surprised you're not yelling out.
You said
You got
so-
the car.
so I would agree with you because
I gotta learn it.
like 3 years ago they would be labeled as mentality monsters, but it's completely different case. And I would agree with you that okay, if it is a sense of lost motivation, it's kind of like
It goes
like
against
monsters
every.
even more,
It
you know
goes
what I mean?
everything that against everything that they were claimed to be. I will,
changes.
however, I will throw them a bone because I wanted to make sure I didn't talk shit. As far as so technically, I don't know if you guys are aware of like the benchmark where transfers over 25 million are kind of like the good players for clubs. Like if you spend over 25 million, it's a pretty decent player. Anything below is usually like a
Future
a
player.
squad player or someone for the future or whatever. As far as the last 4.5 seasons, they've only made 3 of those.
That's not much.
3 of those, and those names are Jota, Nunez, Luis Diaz, and Konate.
So,
That's it.
Yeah.
And then
nothing in
and
the
so
midfield.
that's what I'm saying. So I'm willing to throw Liverpool a bone as far as them being in some sort of weird limbo in betweenness, because you see like I was like, damn. Like of course I'm laughing, I'm enjoying it, but I was like, damn, that sucks. It's either Fabinho Henderson or some other fucking old dude, or you revert all the way down to, even though they're trying, the inexperience of Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, and then somebody else.
yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like
You either play like if you play a balanced team, like a nice mixture, but then like one day you're playing like a combined age in midfield of like 33+-year-olds, and then the next day you're playing a midfield combined of like 22-year-olds.
exactly.
Like where's the balance? You know what I mean?
I'm willing to say that that's a big factor. I'm also going to say that they made their bed, Klopp, and whatever his stubbornness. I'm not, because like again, the only player that I would think that comes to mind is like the Minamino transfer and stuff like that. Like being very, I would agree with that. If he's very stubborn with saying like, okay, if this doesn't fit my exact profile, I don't want him. There also could be, and I fucking hate saying it, but there could be the identity with their ownership not wanting to spend, penny pinching and not wanting to spend for their club. So obviously seeing a lot of FSG outs out there.
Really?
You see, the thing was FSG, right? Me personally, I don't think they're really good as where Liverpool should be in terms of just challenging for every year. I don't think they're bad owners. They pretty much saved the club from administration, and Liverpool financially are probably the best club in the world, or top 2, top 3. Like financially, they have zero debt. They're amazing right now.
Okay.
They don't spend as much as well, at least financially. I don't think they're bad owners, but in terms of where Liverpool should be, in terms
Not
of just
great
every
owners.
year, like again, like you win the Champions. Like for example, I know it was a terrible transfer, but Chelsea won the Champions League. They signed Lukaku. Obviously, terrible transfer. They signed Lukaku, a striker who was on
Right, but
form
they
that
spent,
season.
right.
But they spent that season. Liverpool won the Champions League. They signed no one. Liverpool won the Premier League. All they signed is Thiago, and then the next summer they let Gini Wijnaldum leave, and then they never replace him. And there's countless other examples where
You happy about that though?
what?
About GD when I'm leaving.
All right, let me explain my Gini Wijnaldum case. Let me explain that. This last season pissed me off, but in terms of his overall LFC career was phenomenal. Like technical security, I can get into Wijnaldum, what he provided. But either way, there's other examples. I mean, in the center back, they waited until the last day and deadline day when Liverpool had that crazy center back injury crisis to sign Ben Davies from Preston, who never played a minute for Liverpool ever. And then they signed Ozan Kabak from Schalke on
Kabak,
loan.
ugh.
On the last day, it wasn't
Awful.
even like January's transfer window came in, 2 weeks in, they're going to sign a top tier center back or even just any center back. They literally waited until the last deadline day. I remember Joel Matip got injured against Spurs away that season, like a week before. And then that's what forced their hand into going to the transfer market. So that's why I say it's a combination of both the manager and then the ownership now willing to go just that extra little bit far, like this past season. This season as a whole, like where you're seeing right now, I'd put that more on Jurgen Klopp because he was offered a multitude of midfielders this past summer, but he said no because he thought quantity over quality. In terms of because the whole bullshit 8-9 midfielders. I have 8-9 midfielders. That's more than enough. He was offered a ton of midfielders this summer. Like for example, Matheus Nunez for Wolves. Even though he hasn't been absolutely stellar this season,
Give him a good system.
he could have easily helped Liverpool out. So I think this season as a
Yeah,
whole,
I
if you were
can
to
see that. I can
absolutely
see that.
label it this season, I think it's on Jurgen Klopp. But in terms of the overall what has been occurring and what has been, I guess, led to what now, I think it's a combination of both of like Klopp's stubbornness and then not willing to go that extra bit far with the ownership.
I'm gonna kick you when you're down right now, Nick, just because I don't get many opportunities. How many more games did Liverpool lose this season?
How many have they lost?
How many more games did they
No,
lose?
how many have they lost?
How many have they lost so far? They've lost
3?
a total of
I think it's 3.
4.
4.
Yes, they're 4-4-4 right now.
Say another
How
3.
many games are left?
As of right now, if it's 15, 23.
23-ish, yeah.
I'd say they'll lose 5 to 7 more.
Jesus.
Is that a lot?
Christ.
That's a lot,
That's
dude.
a lot.
Is that a lot?
bro.
I said 3 to 4.
For Liverpool?
Granted,
Yeah,
they
dude.
didn't play Chelsea. They already played United.
I'm trying to think of this.
They didn't play Chelsea. They already played United. They already played Arsenal. They already played City. And then they're about to play Spurs. So, out of
7 is a lot. So that'd be what, like 12, 13.
Granted, last season you lost 2 games.
that's nuts.
If they lose 5 to 7 more, you're banking that for the entire season, and max that they lose is 11 games total. That puts them somewhere in the 60, 65 point range, which is probably going to be what, mid-table?
It's gonna be good for 8th, 9th.
It's going to be good for just making
okay,
top half.
that's what I'm
I'd
saying.
say
Just for context,
3 or
I'd
4.
say 5 max.
5 max, 5, so that's 9
Yeah.
losses, right? So that puts you at between. I'm going off of last year's table.
Okay, yeah,
Between
that's a good one.
Tottenham and Arsenal, with Arsenal having
As long as
13
it's not Conference
losses,
League, I'm happy.
and sorry, above Spurs with 11 losses. So you still be top 4 with 9 losses, but
Oh, you could still be top 4.
you could still be top 4 with
Provided
9
you-
But
losses.
last
provided
season,
you
everybody
win.
was shit.
Provided
provided
everybody
you
else
win,
is bad,
and you just win.
Newcastle don't continue the run, United don't continue the run, Arsenal don't continue, and no draws either on top of that. So it has to be like a turn in form now.
A dramatic turn in form, yeah. That's
How many
wild.
points? But I don't know. I think they're 8 points behind Newcastle, right, with the game in hand.
2 with 2 actually.
Oh, they have 2 games in hand.
If I believe so.
Oh, there's 1. I don't know that the Chelsea game they have still left to play away at Stamford
Yeah,
Bridge, Liverpool.
They didn't play Wolves and they didn't play Chelsea.
Who, Liverpool?
Yeah. It says here, match day 7, they didn't play Wolves.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right.
And then
You're
match
right.
day-
So
and
they
then
have 2
match-
games in
yeah,
hand.
they
But
have 2
everyone
games.
else would have a game in hand as well, too. no?
Everyone
So-
else would have 1, yes.
Yeah. So
So, I mean, let's see how long it takes until Liverpool to finally wake up. But Champions League, I think it's a good thing to kind of get into Champions League for a quick minute and kind of give you the recap there, where Liverpool did come away with the win. What was the final score? 2-0.
2-0.
2-0. Darwin Nunez, right? Header in the first one.
No, it was a. It
No,
was funny.
Salah scored, and who
Yeah.
scored
No,
the other one?
The Salah one was Darwin headed it off a corner, and it was, in my opinion, I believe it was over the line. Then Salah tapped it in, and the second one was funny because Van Dijk headed it, and it was going in. It was literally going in because the goalie spilled it, so it was going over the line, and then Darwin tapped it.
I thought I was offside.
It was outside, but once he was clearly on. And then the funny thing was Van Dijk's expression. He was pissed as fuck because the ball was literally gonna go in, and then Darwin tapped it in, and he was offside. Initially Darwin was offside. Van Dijk's face was like pissed,
That
like
was a
this guy just
Ronaldo
fucking
90
robbed my
moment.
goal.
Portugal.
Yeah.
This guy's-
Hula!
Yeah, for real.
I don't even know what does that mean.
That's my chant for Nunez for every time he does something stupid.
Yeah, una mula.
I'll keep doing. I love Darwin. He's giving me life.
Darwin sexual?
I've
Yeah,
said it,
that
I've
was
said it at least
sexual.
like
What
3
is
or
it
4
about?
times the
Just
past game.
his.
It's absolute chaos. I have no idea what he's gonna do.
That's fun to watch.
And honestly, his cameo yesterday against Napoli was crazy. The guy came on and skinned Kim and Jay.
He just needs. He just
You
needs
saw the
minutes.
you saw the repeat of you can give him the 2-piece combo?
Yeah, I want to say if that gets VAR reviewed, he sent off.
Yeah.
Darwin, he like punched the
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
We're
see that?
fucking hotheads. I don't understand what's in
I
the
don't know
Uruguayan
why-
DNA.
You're
Uno
a
watch
We're
him.
all freaking hotheads.
Uno
I don't
watch him.
Look at
understand.
motherfuckers wearing shorts and a t-shirt in the middle of winter.
I don't
bro.
understand why, but we're all
Hey.
hotheads. It's a fall,
I-
first of all.
I love the spot. I
It's
love the
fall.
spontaneity of this Uruguayan shorts and a t-shirt.
We're just all hotheads. I don't understand why.
Well,
But
you're speaking of hot right now, Benfica ending with the top, right?
Yes.
Damn, man.
Top of the group.
Good for them, bro. Good
Af-
for them.
after 6 different tiebreakers, they had to go to the 7th tiebreaker just to finally crown a winner for that group.
They win 6-1. Milan destroying Salzburg 4-0.
Finished second, right? I think in their group with Chelsea, Milan. Nice to see Milan back in the knockouts of Champions League.
They're on the come up again, man.
Heritage, yeah,
Serie A in general is on the come up.
Yeah, yeah.
It was on the come up.
Just with
La Liga.
La Liga. Only one Spanish club in the knockout rounds, and that is
Real Madrid.
Madrid.
With 5-1 win over Celtic.
So like,
Two
did
penalties.
you talk to Ricky?
Yeah. You know what, Ricky? This is for you. For every time that you've argued, Oh yeah, Celtic can make it in the Premier League. They can make it in the Premier League, mate. They can't even get past. Like there was a point where you guys had less points than Maccabi Haifa in Israel, and you think that you'd be able to survive in the Prem? It's impossible.
At least they got to go
It's
away. They're better
impossible.
than
Wait, don't they have like the worst?
That was Rangers.
Oh, Rangers.
Rangers.
Rangers
They didn't
got
win a
0
single game.
points.
They didn't win a single game. Yeah.
Rangers are now the proud owners of the worst ever team / club that have participated in the Champions League
In history?
in history. Yes.
In
They've
terms
done-
of
yeah.
what? Like 0 points or
Minus-
just
in
minus
terms
20.
in
goals
terms of
scored and
in
all
terms
that?
of the overall performance in the group stage, it used to be Dinamo Zagreb because they were 0 wins, -19 goal differential, and Rangers ended up with 0 wins, and I think it was like
-20.
negative
with
20.
2 goals.
I'm surprised because Rangers, like, I think they do best in the championship. I don't think they survive in the Premier League. But there's been a lot more. There's a lot worse teams than Rangers throughout history. So I'm surprised about that stuff. But either way,
Chelsea beating Dynamo Zagreb 2-1. Juventus lose another game. And they're
Shambles.
just on.
They're missing Ronaldo.
Yo, I mean, it'd be a fair point, man. PSG walk away with a 2-1 victory there. Man City beating Sevilla 3-1. Copenhagen and Borussia Dortmund 1-1. Yo, Borussia is such a like a disappointing team sometimes. Like I expect so
Expect
much
more.
more from them. They just don't do it. so annoying.
These knockout playoffs for the Europa League are going to be
greatest
insane.
European competition in the world.
It's these,
Proven-
but the,
proven
And
this
we'll go
season.
over the teams that got demoted into
Proven this season. Proven
it's
this
gonna
season.
be
Europa. But Shakhtar, man, my man Mudrik didn't do anything. 4-0, losing to Leipzig. Real Madrid 5-1 to Celtic. Sporting losing to Frankfurt 2-1. I think Frankfurt topped that. No, Spurs topped that group, right?
Spurs top
Yeah.
the group. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
with
their
11 points.
There's-
fucking Hoiberg, bro. Hoiberg was on a mission. He hit the crossbar earlier. He reminded me of Party, the way Party scored his goal when he just literally came onto the ball from outside the box and hit it.
First of all,
No,
Party-
it just
don't
the
even
way it
bring
happened
up Party.
because of the way it happened.
Don't compare
So
it.
Get outta here
Hoiberg
with
does
this
the same
bullshit,
thing,
bro.
but inside the box.
I
and it-
love how you can't expect what Uruguayans will do or say.
For real,
But
bro.
Hoiberg does the same thing inside the box, hits the crossbar, gets booked. So now he's gonna miss the next match because he accumulated the yellows.
Did that carry over to the Premier League as well?
No,
Nah.
it's just Champions League.
Okay.
Just Champions
And then you can just tell on that last freaking goal for Hoiberg to be the other person in that 2-on-1, he was angry.
Eric's nodding
was-
so you could
he
stop
was
the
freaking
comparison.
angry.
Okay, move on.
I was just saying. Just
I want to state.
He was
I
on
want
a
to
mission.
state
Spurs
my
2-1 Marseille.
disappointment with fucking Marseille. These bunch of fucking
Ugh.
Arsenal heads
Kolasinac,
just
bro.
losing it in the last minute, bro.
Kolasinac, man.
I like
He had one
and,
job.
and people wonder why I think they needed time.
Sanchez, Kolasinac,
People wonder
Nuno
why.
Tavares,
Kolasinac,
when
man.
Faluzzi.
He had one job. It was the greatest header. Technique was perfect. Just
So it wasn't perfect.
it's the technique itself, but he just he's fucked up.
you know, I
Most
saw a
important part.
tweet today. I think it was Troops' podcast. It was like Alexis. Did you see it?
Yeah.
I want to show you it, but it was like Alexis Sanchez, not the worst player. Not washed. Would you guys take him back? Type shit.
Hell no. What the
I want
fuck?
to show you the tweet. This was the funniest shit ever. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
you
you
really
gotta-
asked that?
You gotta see it, bro.
I don't know if it was him, but it was just like it's probably some admin. I wanna
Well,
see
they're
it.
just asking if we take Alexis back?
Yeah, would you take Alexis
Fuck
back?
no. What the hell?
I want to find it.
Nah, man. Nah, chill.
Greener pastures. Greener
For real.
pastures.
As mentioned prior, Liverpool 2-0 against Napoli. Napoli have a oof, man. They're looking
First
Napoli's
loss.
first loss in general this
yeah.
season, the
all
entire season.
competitions.
What's
That's
it called?
crazy.
The way they did business this past summer was very like ballsy. So they got rid of Koulibaly, absolute stellar for them. They got rid of Fabian Ruiz, who was absolute stable for them, and Lorenzo Insigne on a free, Dries Mertens as well, and I believe David Ospina left as well, and then they replaced them like very well. So it's just very ballsy for a team to just like get rid of like such stable players and players that who aren't even like Koulibaly's probably past his prime, but he's still a top center back. And then Insigne, Mertens still fine players. Fabian Ruiz is decent as well. And then just to get rid of players who like won you like Scudettos and all of that, and just adequately replace them with arguably better players, like that's incredible with scouting and just business in general.
Yeah, man. Napoli have definitely. Are they first in Serie A too, right?
Yeah,
Jeez,
like a
man.
couple points.
Rangers losing to Ajax 3-1. Barcelona getting the dub, but not enough.
Too late to latte.
Late to latte. Bayern and Club Brugge 0-0. I think Bayern. It was a good one. I think it was Bayern Leverkusen hopped Barcelona, right? Or no? Who was in the group?
It was
No.
Victor was,
Victoria Pilsen.
and then Inter, Bayern, Barca.
It was fuck. I gotta look at the meme. It was something not too shabby because Xabi Alonso.
Oh, he's talking about Porto, Bruges, Bayer Leverkusen, and
Atletico.
Atletico. Yeah, that group.
Oh,
Yeah, well, they said it's not too shabby.
He moved on, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
he
he
moved on, at least
leapfrogged.
to Europa.
He
Yeah.
leapfrogged Atletico, and now Atletico's completely out.
Oh,
and he
that's
took,
right. There you
He
go.
took the Europa
Yeah,
now.
not too shabby. That's good. That's good. Thank you for that. Thank you for the sister, boys. And Porto, Atletico Madrid 2-1, bro. Holy shit, Atletico are just trash. When are we gonna How long is Yoma gonna be there for? And does Joao Felix deserve a move out?
What did they say? I think it was pundits that were saying that because they missed out on like some 30 odd million from moving on to knockouts, that they're going to be forced, or at least they're projecting that they're going to be forced to sell a player this transfer
like some
window.
Inter type shit.
Free Joao Felix.
I love Joao Felix. I think he's an incredible player.
Free Joao Felix.
I do think though, I do understand like the take where like even if you still play in a shitty system, you can still ball.
I think he still balls when he gets his chances.
Yeah, I agree as well, but I agree with the take that yes, he's an incredible player, but I guess you can like counter argument where someone says, "Oh, he hasn't been playing enough," or he's playing in a terrible system, he's playing in under a terrorist manager. But I do think though, like even if the circumstances around you, you can still play your football regularly and still perform at a decent level. So, but I love Joao Felix as a player, so I'm like half on like that. I guess you can say debate, but on Simeone though. I have a feeling like his time was up soon. Like maybe
the time was up a while ago, bro.
yeah, no, I'm saying like actually officially.
He's the highest paid manager, I believe.
Yeah, in world football.
So
I don't think they can afford it, bro.
I don't know
say
about that.
I don't think they can afford to let him go.
That's a good
But
point.
they probably should move on from him though. Like not even he's still an incredible manager. Just a change of culture. You know what I mean? Just get someone new in.
Where does Simeone go afterwards?
Take a break.
I could see him taking a break.
Sabbatical?
I'd say take a break and then end up in
Simeone to
Italy.
Spurs?
I mean,
Yo, that'd be
That'd
crazy.
be funny.
Simeone to Spurs?
From Mourinho to Conte to Simeone, bro.
Terrorist football.
Terrorist
Nah,
football.
I see
Got Al Qaeda, ISIS. I don't even know another third terrorist
KGB.
organization. KGB.
I see him going to Italy before he goes to the Premier League, but that's just my opinion.
Italy would be like a good move for him.
Yeah.
Like for example,
I
like
could see like going like the
Like,
Juve.
I can see
Juventus,
I can see
Allegria.
Spurs,
I can
bro.
see
I can see Spurs as
100%, bro.
well.
I could see that, dude.
I can see like Conte to Juve and then like Simeone gets out of Atletico and then Simeone to Tano. That'd be funny.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice little domino
though.
one.
Yeah,
That's a nice little domino.
that'd be
like,
funny though.
I don't know.
but-
It's just like it's more plausible for me to imagine these fucking dudes in the Spurs board of directors and like a round table and be like, we need serial winners. And who's been winning serially? Simeone. Get that man.
That would be a Spurs way, actually. But look, that wraps up Champions League. Going down into the Europa, Barcelona and
Barcelona, Juve,
Juve,
Sevilla.
Leverkusen,
Ooh.
Sevilla are back down
Jesus.
again. Ajax, I
think
believe, are in the
about
knockouts as well. It's there's
You got
just
Roma.
the knockout playoffs. are
Europa's
gonna
going to be a blockbuster, boys.
Facts.
You heard it here first. Greatest European competition. in the world.
how if you're Barcelona, how upset are you with Xavi right now?
You defend him.
No comment.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the fans are defending him.
I
That's the
haven't
vibe I get as
I
well.
haven't looked at the
Sporting
at
and
the-
Salzburg also.
what's
are gonna go
trending
down.
online, but I'm asking you guys because with the rumors coming out already, it must not be paradise right now.
I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. And like that's the thing. Like they didn't. It
Knocked
didn't
out
go.
last
It didn't
year.
go. It didn't go great for them, but they still reinforced the squad,
A lot.
right?
A
They still
lot.
reinforced the squad.
A
So
lot, dude.
how is he not getting results with this group of players? How is he not winning with the ultimate
The thing is
forward
that
striker?
he is
in-
getting
in
results. It's just not in the
Lewandowski?
Champions League. He's getting results domestically. He's getting results in La Liga.
That's fair.
He's
They're
in second
first, right? I
place.
think they're second.
They're second.
The only, I think, if I'm gonna say, I could be wrong. I have to check the leader, but if I'm
Pretty sure
mistaken,
you're
they've only lost against Real Madrid. Everything else, they've tied or won. So they're good domestically.
Yeah,
they're doing good.
They keep leapfrogging each other because
Yeah.
Barcelona will play first and then they'll go top,
Yeah.
and then Real
Yeah,
Madrid
we're
plays
like
and
a-
then they go
we're
back
like
up top.
we're like a point or two difference.
Yeah,
I feel like with Xavi, I think he's on. I think at least in my opinion, I think he should be on a short leash, just because I know like obviously incredible player and et cetera, et cetera. But at least as a manager, like the amount of like players he's been given, and I know like Araujo, Kunde, like that backline they were playing against, what was it, Bayern or Inter? Eric Garcia, Marcos Alonso, like those are just like terrible players. Like that's just
Whoa.
straight up
He
terrible.
he just needed a setup to shit on Eric Garcia, bro. He
Eric
just needed
Garcia, like, bro, they're still playing Sergio Roberto, bro. Like, what? But with the amount of like all fit, if he still doesn't produce, I think maybe like not next summer, probably the summer after that. If it's like if they're still not producing results, I think that's when you start questioning because Barcelona as a squad on whole, they have an incredible team,
What?
incredible from back to front. So
Well, look, I said it before. He was hired off of one highlight reel on YouTube, and everybody went crazy over that. So,
Joey.
that is Xavi. So look, we're gonna go over into fantasy. Today's a little bit different. We have a quick fantasy conversation, and Nick's gonna give us the update for the predictions that we give, and we're gonna give our predictions for the weekend coming up. So today's a little bit different. Fantasy 5. That's they took the challenge. We'll see.
Disclaimer. On to the next one.
So whenever you guys are ready, I'll get a timer out. I'm gonna just see how this goes,
Yep.
and let me know when you guys are ready.
What is this?
And this is definitely over our time predictions.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Really?
We're at 115 right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I won, by the way. Heads up. I won. I did 115. and we're at 115 right now. So
So it's just
nobody's above me, so I won. You got it? Come on.
Yeah.
Time is money.
we're waiting for the go ahead. We're waiting for the go ahead to start.
All right, ready?
You ready?
Fantasy set, fantasy 5 on 3, 2, 1. Fantasize me.
All right. Fantasy 5, going over the draft league, which is literally dead among the bench because these guys aren't making their changes.
Forgot password.
They forgot their passwords. They're not managing their squads. But I'm just gonna go over it anyway. I went head to head with Josue today, getting that W 55-46. Gat edging out Marco 54-41, and Nico taking out Eric 42-35. Literally,
Not doing bad.
Nico's set for literally the entire season because he has Haaland. So
And
I
I was
got
always
KDB.
worried about Nico's fantasy in
You have
his
KDB?
draft team.
oh yeah, that's right.
I was always worried about his draft team because it's a really fucking good team.
Yeah, it is a good team. As far as standings, Gad is in first still with 34 points, 11-1-2 record. I'm in second, Marco in third, Nico in fourth, tied with Josue on points, 16, and Eric moves down to sixth, 4-2-8 with 14 points
means
respectively.
That means Eric needs to reset his password because he gets first pick in the transfer market before the deadline.
That's true.
Too much work.
Too much work. As far as the transfers and the watch list, there's a few names that we want you to get in mind, specifically because there are injuries and there are suspensions. Unfortunately, Tony went ahead and got his ass suspended for this game week. So a lot of people having Tony on their squads, you may want to look at getting him out. And the number one name on the watch list is Callum Wilson. It may come to jinx him, but Callum Wilson looks to be leading the line for his Newcastle side. No timeline for Isak to come back into the squad, and he was involved in all 4 goals last week with 2 goals and 2 assists, helping his team to a 4-0 victory. The other name that's coming up in the midfield, there's actually 2, so to speak, because for some reason, all of the game week 8 and 9 wildcarders with Foden got shafted. Foden's been dropped for the last 2 games, and he hasn't been doing very well. So some of the names that have been coming up for these last 2 weeks, these are the last 2 weeks before the World Cup break, you want to look at Marcus Rashford. That's right, unlocking the header technique and ability for his virtual pro. Marcus Rashford actually happens to be one of the players that is projected to go up in price. So that's another shout out to him. And it looks like he might be a good reference for the United attack. It seems to be that the rumors are that was it Anthony, maybe Martial, and I think Sancho were all out. At least they're all going to be out for tomorrow's game, Thursday, at time of recording for Europa League, and they could be doubts for this weekend's game, unless they could be looking out for them so that they can make sure that they're healthy. Another name, in case you don't have him, although I do think that it might be too close to the World Cup break, Almiron, if you don't have him. I think Almiron has been doing fantastic. And of course, the transfers didn't show them the top 5 names that have been transferred in so far: Wilson, Almiron, Trossard, De Bruyne, and Delot. Diogo Dalot
Yeah.
leading the defensive watch list for a player to pick up. They've kept 5 clean sheets so far this season. He's leading. I think he is in 4th for big chances created as far as defenders in the game. And transfers out, you have Tony that we had already mentioned. Human Sung with his fractured cheekbone that needs to undergo surgery after he got rocked in the Champions League this week. Anthony Saka and Wilfred Zaha rounding out the
Saka
top
out?
transfers out.
Oh wow.
People
Saka,
are transferring him out,
yeah.
even though I think he
He's
might
in-
actually play.
He was
Yes.
in first team training.
Yeah.
Yes, Saka. That's one of the verdicts that I have here on my notes is that for Saka, if you do have him, I would hold because he's been pictured in full training as of today. As far as buying him, if you want to try to gamble it, I think it could be worth it, especially if you want to do a nice little 2-week punt since it's a World Cup break. I think the spontaneity of picking your squad and kind of taking some punts here and there is going to be good for your team if you want to chase some rank. However, if you sold him, obviously it would be unwise to bring him back in. But if you sold him, I think you'd be better off with pivoting to someone, maybe even a Granit Xhaka transfer.
I think he's out. Yellow card just mentioned.
Because for yellow cards, is he really out for yellow
I
cards?
Think
I don't
so.
think
didn't
so.
think he was. I didn't
No,
think he
wasn't him?
was.
Well,
No,
I'll check that just in case. But
I didn't think he was.
as far as your team, guys, so that we can have a nice little wrap up to this segment, if you could help me at least name the top 2 candidates for the captaincy right now for game week 15.
So right now, there's still a lot of unknowns around Haaland. I think obviously he still has to be the number one if we do get at least some clear notice that he's not going to be out. He's still going to be one that you're probably going to want to captain. If it turns out that Holland is not going to play, it's actually pretty wide open in terms of the captaincy. A lot of people are going to look at either Foden or De Bruyne and thinking that De Bruyne is probably going to lead the way when it comes to captaincy if Holland is out, just because Foden is now minutes managed. He hasn't featured in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
But you can also afford to steer away from the Man City captaincy option, especially we were speaking at length earlier about just the form that Liverpool are in. So Harry Kane could be a decent shout. He's still been ticking along since game week 1. He's only blanked twice so far this season. So against a team like Liverpool, the way they're playing, it's going to play exactly the way Spurs want them to. So yes, Son is probably going to be out, but just you can probably still trust that Harry Kane is going to get on to do something. Not yet.
Who?
Not fully back.
Oh no, he's not.
Not fully back.
Kulusevski's not back yet.
Not fully back. But there's a lot of options out there. Newcastle, especially with the form that they've been in, Wilson is probably going to be the standout captaincy pick. However, don't shy away if you want to chase some rank. You want to go after maybe that Almiron captaincy as well. That is definitely going to be one to consider. There's no Tony, so you don't really want to captain anyone in that Forest game. Trossard is a good pick as well. He played up top this past game. So it is going to bode well for him if he stays in that central role. They're playing against Wolves, who, yes, have been pretty solid defensively, but Trossard is still a good shout. Trossard is a big game player, as we just Diego and I just went over some stats before we even started. So might not be considered a big game, but Wolves tend to hold the fort down. So this could be some good news for Trossard. That's if you want to go, maybe you can even captain Rashford. But it all depends.
Probably. There's
It
a
all
lot of
depends on what
shouts.
happens with the with this whole Emery nonsense.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest question marks is what's going to happen with Haaland, especially against Fulham. If he's been confirmed not in training, so that's going to be a very big concern for people who want other players to try to captain. As far as the last few game weeks, we have Almiron leading the line, Trippier, Trossard, and Castagne with the top 5 for points, 41 to 57 respectively. So those are the crop of players that you want to try to target for this game week 15, and that's your fantasy recap.
Shop for each of them. Of tequila.
Okay.
What, we going over?
Yeah.
7 minutes.
Dang. Okay.
Seven,
Fantasy
that's not
7.
bad, though.
Fantasy.
Okay.
Is that
Seven,
the way
that's
the way Nick writes it? It looks like a 5. So
That's crazy.
it looks like a 5.
Shots
No.
fired. All right. So before we get into the trophy, which has a star next to it, an asterisk next to it, we're gonna do a quick prediction for
Liverpool's
this
win.
weekend. The games that we're predicting are Chelsea, Arsenal. Who else was it?
Spurs, Liverpool,
Liverpool, and then who was the last one?
Everton, Leicester.
Everton, Leicester. Okay,
Damn.
nice. Those are good games. I don't know, Villa United. New manager bounce.
I think Everton Leicester would be more difficult.
Okay, all right. They're nervous. They're nervous. They don't want to predict that game.
Wow.
All right, so
5-0 United.
Huh?
5-0 United.
All right, so first game at the Bridge. Chelsea Arsenal 7 a.m. kickoff.
7 a.m.
Well, our time. Sorry. But
7 a.m. Sunday.
That stinks of a 1-1.
Okay, you ready? Chelsea have lost 3 of their last 4 Premier League games against Arsenal and more than they had in the last 17 against the Gunners. Arsenal, however, have won their last 2 Premier League away games against Chelsea as many in their previous 16 visits. However, they have not won 3 in a row at Stamford Bridge since April 1974. Each of Arsenal's last 6 Premier League goals against Chelsea have been scored by English players, Saka, Smith Rowe, and Nketiah, netting twice each. Chelsea, however, losing 4-1 against Brighton last time out, have last lost consecutive league games back in December 2020 under Frank Lampard. So food for thought for these predictions for everyone to consider. I think this does have a draw written all over it.
First.
He could play very conservative. There was a very... Chilwell pulled his hamstring today.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so
So he's out.
that's probably one fit fullback for England. Luke Shaw. That's it.
Ben White.
Left back.
You can play anywhere, bro.
He
is-
play wing back.
He's a
Yeah,
natural.
bro.
He's naturally a center back. So
I know he can play right back.
You can play anywhere, bro.
Can he play you?
All right, come on. What do you say, Diego?
He's like
Diego's like stuck right now. He doesn't know.
1-1. I'm saying 1-1 again.
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm saying 1-1. I
That's
think
crazy.
I think they got their win out of the way
No,
during
I'll
this
pick it.
midweek. 1-1.
2-1 Arsenal.
I can't see a 2-1 Arsenal, but I just feel like Potter's gonna try.
I'm
to
going
shove
1-1.
Chelsea are in the mud right now, and we gotta. This is gonna be our year, right? We gotta win, right? I'm going 2-1 Arsenal.
I always I hate going with the ones I go 2-0. I want that clean sheet. Fuck it.
We are better away with clean sheets than we are at home, so that's a fair point. All right, so we'll get Dyer's prediction later on. Then we got, you said Everton, Leicester.
So as far as Everton Leicester, this isn't fairly easy either, but it looks like they're head to head. I'll give you that. Everton is leading with 5 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. Their last 3 matches, going back, actually, we'll give you the last 4, going back to last season and the season prior. Everton has won 2-1, 1-1, 1-1, and Everton has won 2-0 back in December of 2020. Looks like Everton have the edge so far against Leicester when it comes to playing them, and specifically when it comes to playing them away from home. So with this Everton home game, it doesn't look very set in stone. Madison's back.
He's back.
Yeah, because he was just suspended for being an idiot. But for some reason, Everton aren't conceding that many goals. That's another thing that I'm very, very surprised about. They've conceded 12 goals.
I'll give mine. 1-0. Leicester City.
I'll go.
DCL.
I hope this doesn't confuse you, Nick.
I'm going 2-1 Leicester.
I'm going 2-0 Everton.
1-1.
2-1 Leicester.
Damn, we're the only ones that were.
All right.
All right. And last game. Oof. Spurs, Liverpool. Before we give the prediction on that, this game is definitely falling into Spurs' hands, right? Sit back, Liverpool, low
Uh-huh.
block, counterattack, Harry Kane goal. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, over the top ball, over.
You know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Is it written in the stars already? Is it written in stone?
Of what?
I think
That this is
because
gonna happen.
I
that
think
this is
because it is so written in the stars, it's probably
So
going to be another Spursy moment.
so predictable.
It's probably going
Okay,
to
ready?
be
Spurs are winless in their last 9 Premier League games against Liverpool, drawing 3 times and losing 6. Their last win being a 4-1 result in October 2017. Only once in their league history have they gone 10 matches without a win against the Reds, doing so between 1971 and 1976. Liverpool, however, have only failed to score in one of their last 20 Premier League meetings with Tottenham, which was a 0-0 draw back in October 2015, while they lost only once in their last 19 fixtures against Spurs, with a record of 12, 6, and 1. This is the first time Tottenham are facing Liverpool while above them, with the Reds winning 2-1 at Anfield thanks to Firmino's 90th minute winner in December 2020. And it's the first time they're hosting them while above in the table since a 4-1 win, which was back in October 2017. So you're right. I think that whole 9 haven't gone 10. I feel like that win is due to come, but they're both poor. They're both poor. 3-0 Liverpool.
Damn.
3-0.
They're
He
both
said
poor.
they're both
They're both
poor.
poor,
Yeah,
then they
yeah,
comes
yeah.
out with a
Negative
3-0.
up for them.
Jesus Christ.
I don't see Spurs creating, bro.
They don't-
I-
they- they
I
The
never
thing is,
do.
if Son is out and Kulusevski's out,
They're
Kane, Lucas Moura,
gonna play Perisic and Lucas Moura, bro. Come on.
And
Yeah, I
it,
know-
would,
I
it,
know.
would be the, it would be the game with Lucas Moura getting a
it
brace.
would, it
Dude,
would. But
it's like written. It's
going
like,
playing the
it's written.
percentages,
scripted.
I know Liverpool are terrible right now, but that front three doesn't frighten me. But I'm going for either way. I'm still going for 2-2.
2-2.
Wow.
Yeah, repeat of last year's result.
1-0 Liverpool.
I don't think Spurs win because of shit, but I see Liverpool just also just
God.
iffy right now, man. I'm gonna go draw as well. I'm gonna go 1-1.
I second you, Nick.
2-2 for
I
Marco.
second you, Nick.
Yeah.
In the last, in the last 5 years, the head-to-head record between Spurs and Liverpool is 0 wins for Spurs, 3 draws, and 7 Liverpool wins.
That's crazy.
Out of the last 5 meetings, there's been like 2 90th minute winners from Liverpool. I remember this one in like April 2019. It was a cross from Trent. I think Salah headed it. Lloris saved it. It bounced off Toby Alderweireld and then it went. It was the most Spursy goal ever. I remember that goal like it was
Love it.
yesterday. That shit was so funny.
Anyway,
I'm just curious. Aston Villa United. Just to see what how you guys feel going into that game.
3-0 United.
Interesting game. Yeah.
1-1.
nah, I think
There's no new manager bounce yet. I think it's too soon.
I think it would be too soon also, but I would give them a 3-1. I don't think they'd be able. I feel like there's a free goal in there somewhere.
Okay.
I'd give a free goal
I'm
to
just
Villa.
curious to see what you guys would think about Unai Emery in his comeback. game.
Okay. Real quick. Normally, when a new manager, there's always like a player who like comes to life.
Oh, who's that gonna
Mings.
be?
I swear, if got it. If
Mings.
I did it's Mings, bro, that'd be
Mings.
crazy.
I see it being Mings. I see it.
It is written in the stars.
I
for it to
see
be
it being
Mings. I
Mings.
feel like I want to agree with you too.
Mings masterclass.
I see
really?
it being Mings, bro. He's been
There's
so
always one
bad.
player under every
Has-
manager.
Mings
has
being
one-
captain next year again because after now that Emery's there.
Has
always
one
one-
random fluke of a good game for the first their first game without a manager, and then they're shit again. So I just it's Mings.
I think it's Mings or Leon Bailey.
Mm.
But yeah, imagine if it's
All right, Nick. So can you give us again the winner of this belt this turnaround?
no asterisks.
No, 100% asterisk. We have to
Big
go, we have to go
asterisks.
back to all the results because even I got it wrong. I didn't write it like you did. I typed it down so I can actually read it. I still typed it wrong.
Yeah. So this is from game weeks 6. You good? You good? So so this belt that is about to be given out is actually going to be from game week 6 through game week 12.
Correct.
So we are running a little behind
do
because we did
appreciate
miss.
the fact that after his run ran out, he stopped getting that shit on his shoulder.
I mean, you guys
I mean,
just
he
pointed
didn't
it out.
deserve it.
You guys pointed it out to me that I guess I was a little smug. I didn't realize it. So sorry.
It's not that you try to. It's just.
So it just
Oh, okay.
it
It
just
just happened.
It's the
you're
Uruguay. It's the Uruguay in you. That's what it is.
as you being a hothead.
It's like Edgar. When Edgar's trying to like troll somebody, he's bantering, but he's fucking out here
He's
annoying.
annoying.
right
Yeah,
now.
I know.
All right, so
Been there.
let us know what the results were.
All right, so the game week 6 to game week 11 roundup.
Drum roll.
in first place with
He's not here.
Dyer with 10 points.
All right,
That's
Dyer.
crazy.
Yeah.
Asterisk,
next to
asterisk, asterisk.
All
Yeah, you
right.
finished last.
Asterisk. I did.
No, that's good. That's good.
I did
That's
it.
good.
No asterisk.
Where's the trophy at?
No.
Right there.
I take it. I'll take it with pride because I knew it was not a good couple weeks. So it was not a good couple
My
weeks.
man
So
said, I
that's
can't
fine.
win it all.
That's fine. That's
He's
fine.
winning a draft as of right now. He's doing well in the
yeah.
normal.
How you doing in the fantasy? Not the draft one, but the actual league.
I think you're like
seventh,
5 points above
seventh or
me.
six or something
He's
like
above
that.
like
Where
5
am I
above
at?
me.
That?
I think bottom 5.
Damn, I'm going for the bottom actually. That's what I'm doing. I'm going for the bottom. Like I'm trying to get
Like
last.
You're playing
he does
anti-
one team and then hopes
FPL?
that team can get him enough
Yeah,
points
long
throughout
time.
the whole season.
You're at you're 17th out of 20
Almost there.
managers.
Okay.
You need one more for relegation.
You actually despite being 17th, you scored
He scored high.
You scored 74 points, which is the
You know,
second highest tally.
I
Wait, who do
do
you have
what I
captain?
do.
Who do you
I
set
do what I
captain?
do.
Haaland?
Imagine every
No,
year
he didn't
Eric
have
does the
Oh
same
my
thing.
god. Okay, so he has Haaland captain who was out because was injured.
He's gonna perma captain.
He had Jesus as vice captain, so he got 18 points off of Jesus. Then he also had De Bruyne with 11, Martinelli with 8, Trippier with 11, Fabian Schär with 6, Anderson with 6,
a good team, bro.
Saliba with 7. And then next week, he's going into next week with De Bruyne, Ford, and Haaland, Madison, Martinelli, Jesus. It's a decent team.
Yeah, that's a-
Double Newcastle defense against Southampton, Crystal Palace,
Come on,
Saliba
baby.
back there.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
You,
Man, then
you
come on,
could,
bro. You're not
you
even-
could
you ain't even
inadvertently start climbing back up.
I big brain it so that way when I forget, my team is already there. Has a foundation built for them to succeed. So I give them the tools. They do what they want to do.
Yeah, man.
All right, but from going from Gat, least to greatest. Gat, you lost, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, how
Yeah,
do
you
you
lost,
from,
huh?
I knew.
From
I
least to
knew.
greatest, yeah, you lost.
I knew I lost
From
from
the
like
bottom,
as-
guy,
from like game
done
week
it, remember?
9. I knew I lost.
God,
You know,
how
it's
do-
followed by myself, Nico, Diego, and Eric, all combined with 7 points.
7 points. Yeah.
And then Marco finished a measly second behind Dyer with
Fuck,
9
bro.
points.
1 point,
Asterisk
bro.
at the top. No,
That-
no asterisk
I'll
at
give
the
you the
bottom.
asterisk.
No,
that
no
belt-
asterisk
that
at the
So
belt
wait,
bottom.
you had
one
9
day-
and Dyer had 10?
Yeah,
Damn.
that belt will be on my shoulder at least
Well,
one
there's
time.
an asterisk next to it, all right? Except for Gap, but everywhere
Yeah,
else.
There's an asterisk against next to first place. There's no asterisk next to last place. That I absolutely 100%. 100%.
All right, well, look, we're way over our time. I'm trying to get ungrounded, so let's end it there. We are the bench warmers, the bench of the voice, where the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.